You're watching the Kanaovs show here on New Earth International. And here she is herself, Kanaovs.
Thanks so much, Rachel. Welcome to the show, everybody. Tonight, we're going to be talking about what makes really successful people different from many of us. And that is a result of my, my yachting up and down the coast of Italy and France for the past 2 weeks. And I was on a 150-foot yacht with my family, and we met quite a few friends, and we had a couple of big dinner parties. And I suddenly realized as I was listening to them why they were so successful. And they were all thinking along the same lines. And I'm going to share that a little with you tonight during the program. But first, what I wanted to do was let you know that there has been a change in the program. We had Dr. Bernie Siegel and Dr. Larry Burke scheduled for the show tonight, but Dr. Bernie Siegel had an anniversary tonight, and so he was a bit torn between being on the show or going out to dinner with his wife. And I said, hands down, take your wife out for dinner, and we'll see you on the 8th. So put it down on your calendar, 8/8, live at 5 Pacific time, 8 Eastern Standard Time. So they're going to both be on the show on August the 8th. And next week, we have Kelly Sullivan Walden, known as Dr. Dream. And she's going to be coming onto the show with Robin J., who is the producer of The Secrets of the Keys, which won quite a few awards. And it's a movie. And she's going to be coming on to talk about dreams. Dr. Dream, obviously Kelly Sullivan Walden, is going to be talking about dreams, but Robin J. is going to be talking about how she made a whole movie that revolved around a dream that came true because there were spirit guides in that dream that helped the woman who learned the secrets of the keys. So we're having that next week. Whatever you do, don't miss it. It's going to be fabulous. So before we get started on the show tonight, what I wanted to do was just do a little bit of a breathing, like a little yoga breathing thing, because I'm still wound up from getting off the jet. And I think that the breath of life is so important. So if you ever watch my shows on Tuesday nights, which are starting up again in August with Sheila Sistar, we always start the show with a little meditation. And that's what I'm going to do tonight on this show. So get yourself seated in a nice, comfortable position. It's kind of helpful if your feet are flat on the floor so that all of the energy can come down through your whole body, go out your feet, and come back up through your feet and out through your upper chakra. Okay, so really comfortable. And you can close your eyes or you can leave them open, whatever you'd like to do. It's up to you, however you feel most comfortable. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths in. We're going to take them together. And with each breath, I want you to hold that breath. And I want you to imagine all the little pieces of negativity from your mind, from your heart, maybe from your emotions, negativities that others have done to you, or maybe that you feel were done to you, or that you've done to other people. You know, forgiveness is a really strong tool for healing. So you can do that in this meditation. So I want you to take a deep breath with me and then hold it while all those little tiny specks of negativity connect themselves to that breath. And we're going to blow it out across the room as far as we can, as far away from us as we can get it. And we're going to do that 3 times. Okay? Ready? Take a deep breath in and hold it. Just imagine all the little specks getting into the breath and blow it out across the room. All the way down. Feel your diaphragm just buckling under it. And then another deep breath in. Feel it all the way up where you've got to just fill your lungs up as much as you can. Blow it out across the room. Another deep breath in. Last one. Any little tiny bits left, blow them out across the room. Great. Now, you can probably hear my Siamese cat, but that's okay. Just let him come into the meditation. He's here to make me suffer tonight. Imagine you are holding some kind of a talisman, something that's important to you, your favorite flower. Or in my case, I'm going to be imagining that I'm holding a dandelion because my spirit guides actually gave me one in my dreams as a power flower. Really, just like flower power, a power flower that I could use to change anything I wanted. So I'm going to take my dandelion and I'm going to imagine surrounding myself with a beautiful mirrored light. And this mirrored light is like a bubble around me, and only that which is of the highest and best can come in through that protective bubble. And it must be brought in by my spirit guides. I wish it so, and therefore it is. Okay, just kind of open up your eyes and move around a little bit. Feel yourself getting re-grounded. You'll feel a little heavier. That's okay. It means that you're now grounded, and your legs might be tingling a little bit. That's the energy coming up through all of your chakras, up to your crown chakra, and back down through your body, up and down and up and down. So I love to do that with Sheila Sistar on Tuesdays. We have a great time with that meditation, and you can use it every night before you go to bed. That's when I use it. I'm actually lying in my bed, and I do that meditation. And if I fall asleep in the middle of the meditation, which I will probably do tonight, I'm going to fall asleep in a state of grace. And what that means is all my doors and windows to the dream world are going to be wide open, protected, but wide open, and I will receive all kinds of information, and healing energies will come in while I'm sleeping. So, Lori, thank you so much for being on the show with me today. I
Thank you.
really missed you while I was over there in California for the past 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just got back from going all up and down the coast of Italy and France in a 150-foot yacht. And we had guests that came onto the yacht, and most of them were extremely successful. I mean, multi-millionaires, some of them were billionaires. And so what I did was I started studying these people and listening to what they were saying. And I realized that they think differently than most of the other supposedly successful people that I've met.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I was cruising the Italian Riviera and the French Riviera, we went through the Côte Esmeralda, which was up in Italy, and then Côte d'Azur, which was further down into France. We started in Sardinia, and then we went to Monaco, where we went to the 007 casino. I'm going to tell you, it doesn't look anything like the movies. It's really small. But I took all these pictures, and while I was doing that, I came up with these messages of the moment on your yacht of life, because we're all on, our own little journey, our own little traveling. And so as I would realize there was a message in something that I was seeing or doing or hearing from someone else, I turned it into a message of life a message of the moment on your Yacht of Life, and I created these little mini videos so that it's almost like a video blog. And I've got the first one actually on my Facebook page, which is Kathleen O'Keefe Kanaovs, for any of you who'd like to go in there and see it. And that is Felix in the background serenading us. And he's going to make sure that I suffer for having left him for 2 weeks. He's not going to stop. And one of the things that I realized that was a little different with these successful people was, for one thing, they never take no for an answer. I was amazed. I mean, I've got that in my book, Surviving Cancerland, how when the doctors told me, oh, we can't do this, no, you can't do that, I wouldn't accept it. I always saw no as just an opportunity to try again at a higher level. And all of a sudden, I saw these people, these really successful people, coming onto the yacht and doing the same thing. Have you ever noticed that, Lori, and any of the really successful people that you've run into?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's one of the hallmarks of success is that you don't take no for an answer. And then you, like you said, you start at the next level up and you ask them. But definitely, I think that's one of the hallmarks of success. And the other thing is, for some people like me, when somebody says no to me, that just makes me want to prove them wrong. So that's another way you can use no for an answer in your life to help it motivate you to do whatever it is you're really trying to do. Oh, Felix is here visiting me. Hi. Hi.
Lori's
Think I'm your mother?
Lori's actually in my library, and I'm in the dining room. So what Felix is doing now is he's running between the two rooms in the house just to howl. He has been perfectly quiet until now. You didn't even know he was in the house.
That's right.
But now that he knows the show is going, he's going to make sure that he echoes all through the house. And so the only thing you can do with him is to ignore him until he literally screams himself out, because he won't stop. He knows it's irritating. So the best thing to do is ignore him, because if you chase him around the house, just come out another door and scream even louder. So anyhow, yes, don't take no for an answer. And what I saw was some of the guests on the boat were talking about some of the deals that we're doing, and one gentleman said to another one, "So is that deal, dead in the water?" And the guy said, "Well, the boat's not really going anywhere with that deal, but I'm waiting for the next wind to pick up." And I thought, how interesting. When somebody else would walk away from the deal and say, "Oh, well, it didn't work. We tried this, we tried that, it didn't work, so we're just going to drop that and go on to the next thing." These guys wait. And that was another thing. That was the second one. Don't give up. They never give up. I've never seen anything like it. They never, ever give up. And I remember one time they were talking, and one of them mentioned, sometimes when things just don't go right, you just give up. You not give up. You just let go. You let go, sort of like let go and let God. And then when it comes back online or gets back onto the path, they pick it up and push it right through. So sometimes when we just can't seem to get, it seems like no matter how hard we try, we can't get it to work. Maybe we just need to let go and let God. And then when it starts to pick up its own speed again, when it starts to get its second wind, then you get back in there and you take over the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's happened to me a lot in my life. I have noticed that, you're trying to do a negotiation, or you're trying to get a certain job even, or like you said, make a deal with somebody. Sometimes you have to talk about it, and then you kind of have to let it sit and percolate and, kind of gain a little bit of momentum among the people who you're trying to convince to work with you. and you know, something else may happen in their life or your life, and you'll have like new information that you can approach them again with. And you know, I think that's a big part of it too, waiting for the next moment that you can approach that person in a slightly different way. Oh, by the way, this happened. Does this make any difference? Can we make that deal now? So I think waiting is a good strategy.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it's just the timing. You know, I heard them all also say timing is everything. Sometimes you get all your little ducks in a row, and then you wait for the timing to be right. But I've seen a lot of other people who have said, well, you know, the timing's not right, so I'm not going to bother to get everything ready until I know the time is right. But then what happens is you miss the opportunity. That window of opportunity slams shut on you because you didn't have your little ducks in a row.
Yeah, it's always a great idea to be completely ready for the next possible thing. I mean, we do that all the time with, you know, when we try to recruit radio show hosts, or we want guests on our show. Sometimes they're not available; they can't do it, but we don't give up on them. You know,
No.
we'll send them another email and say, "Remember us? You want to come on our show? You want to talk to us about this or that?" But yeah, I don't think you should ever give up on any of that kind of stuff, because you know you're always kind of growing and changing, and maybe you just had to wait for the time to be right for them. It's not right for them yet. So yeah, I would say that's, you know, that's a good strategy. Just never give up. Always, you know, write them another email, call them on the phone, say hi, how you doing? I just want to touch base with you. You know, by the way, this has changed. I mean, definitely, yeah, don't give up, especially if it's a big fish, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just you know, and once you get it on that line, you don't stop at that point. And you know, another thing that I saw was you don't wait for your boat to come in. What I was listening to at these parties, and of course, you know, it is a social party, but these are people who love business. It's not that they're doing business 9 to 5. Business is their life because they love it. And one of the reasons why they love it is because, you know, they see challenges as a game. You know, we see challenges as, or many people see challenges as just disturbing. And, oh, I'm not going to do that because that didn't go right, and they give up. They see challenges as a game. How do I overcome that challenge? You know, how can I maneuver this? How can I play chess or play cards with the world? You know, you're dealt a hand and you play your cards and you wait for somebody to throw something else down, and or for you to pick it up. You don't just look at your cards and then throw them away. You've got to play the game. Life is a game of cards. Play what's in your hands and play the game. Don't give up. And that's what they do. They play the game.
Yeah, there's a saying, play the cards you're dealt. You know, I mean, whatever it is that you've got to work with, you start working with it the best you can. And like you said, you wait for the next play and see what's going to happen. But, you know, we were even talking about that tonight, as far as like people who are trying to intimidate you or throw you off your game or throw you under the bus or something like that. You have to realize, oh, this is a game and I'm going to win it, and not get sucked into all the emotion of what it could be, you know, like, oh, this person doesn't like me, or they're being mean to me, or whatever. You know, you got to forget all that and realize, get above that and go, this is a game. What's my next move? How am I going to win?
Exactly.
How am I going to come out as a winner? How am I going to come out on top? So
yeah, exactly. You know, you can't take those things personally, because the other person may be playing the game too, and they may be bluffing you. Just like if you're playing cards and somebody goes, oh, you know, I know you got a really stinky hand there. I can tell by your face. You know, and then all of a sudden the person goes, oh, I know, they know what's on my cards. No, they're bluffing you. And so you can't take that personally. And so, that's a technique a lot of people will use to throw you off your game. They will bluff you. They will figure out what your buttons are, and they will push those buttons so that you fail. And so if you don't take those things personally, if you disconnect, if you learn to disconnect those wires, if family members, loved ones, relationships are pushing your buttons over and over again, and it's the same button, that button must be flashing red. It's catching their attention. They're going, oh my gosh, look at the reaction we got out of her. She just yanked herself bald on the left side of her head. We're going to wait till the hair grows and we're going to do it again. So if you don't take that personally and you just look at somebody and smile, you've taken their power away over you. And that's one of the things that they do. They just they don't take things personally like that. They read that as what the other person that just threw it at them is thinking. They don't take it personally. They're very secure in themselves. And I think that that's something that's also really, really important. Trusting in yourself, trusting in your spirit guides, trusting in your guidance, trusting in your higher power. They were all extremely spiritual. Some of them were extremely, extremely religious. They went to church every single morning. Was like every single morning? Every single morning they were at Mass. And that's just something you don't see. You don't imagine it in that kind of a group. You're thinking, oh well, they must be so busy working, they don't have time for that. They have time for their higher power, their spirituality, their God, every single day.
Yeah, that's important too. I think, everybody needs to do that, whether they're going to go to Mass or they're going to meditate or they're going to just read scripture or whatever it is that they do. But it's really important to connect to your higher power, because, what's the whole purpose if, you're just floating around and, you're not grounded in any kind of spirituality. At least that's what I think anyway. But I think you're so right about disconnecting those buttons and not taking things personally. That is an art form. It's also a skill, I think, that can be learned. And I think that's one of the things
absolutely.
that in our seminars, you and I, Kat, that's something I think we can teach people, how to disconnect from that, how to never be insulted again, and to know that that person who is sending you all that negativity or talking to you that way, it's really just coming from them and it has nothing to do with you. If you can kind of get to that place where that that's them and not you, you've won the game. You've won a huge game right there. You're way ahead.
Yeah. You're way ahead, and they're going to stop trying to push your buttons, because let's face it, we ignored Felix to the point where he has gone away. Have you noticed that out there? I mean, we could have yelled at him, and he was pushing. When he couldn't push buttons anymore, he went in the library and he pushed Lori's buttons. But we already had it all planned out to ignore him, and he has now gone away. So it wasn't us. It was him, and we didn't take on his little Siamese tantrum. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about that I saw, and I mean, I can't believe how quickly this has gone. We're already at the bottom of the hour, but it's a really important one. When we went to Saint-Tropez, we pulled up to the coast of Saint-Tropez, and there were mega yachts lined up all along, mega yachts, and some of the really huge yachts out behind us that were so big they couldn't come in as far as we did. They had helicopters that were bringing the people in and dropping them off at the beach club, which was Cinq en Cinq, which is Club 55 in French. And the Club 55 or Club Cinq en Cinq is about the movie that Brigitte Bardot was in called 55. And so the whole place is dedicated to Brigitte Bardot. You go in there and you see all these beautiful pictures of Brigitte Bardot. She was gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And she lives on Saint-Tropez. So our captain called over to the restaurant to get a table, and the maitre d' there said, well, we just want to warn you, we have no electricity. There was a house above the 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 uh, the the beach club that burned down this morning, and it took all the electricity out. So we're only serving cold food. So everybody on the yacht's going, well, do we really want to go? Do we want to go do that? Maybe we could go further down to a different one, or blah, 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 blah. And somebody said, let's just go make our own fun. And I'm watching all these helicopters, pontoon helicopters, regular helicopters going over and landing, and they're not leaving. So I know the people are staying. So we get in the pontoon boat, we go over there, and here are all of these people standing on the tables, singing, making their own music. There was no electricity to play music. There was no music. And they're singing, and they're clapping, and they're dancing on the tables. They were having a great time. There were salads, there was great cold food, nothing hot. But the point is, they were dancing to their own tune. They were having a wonderful time, and they let absolutely nothing take their joy away.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that made them so different. They didn't desert the restaurant and go find another restaurant. They got up on the table and made their own music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful example of taking lemons and making lemonade. And yeah, I mean, why stop the party? I mean, you're there to have a party, so have a party we will. I love that. That's a great story. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So I got all of that on video, and I'm going to be putting that on the Cat
Good.
Kanaovs show, but also on my Facebook pages. But I just thought it was wonderful how everybody was laughing and partying, and there was no hot food and no music, and we all had the best time. Just the best time. I mean, what more do you need at a party than the people?
Oh yes,
Right?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything is about the people and not so much about the place. But yeah, it's always the people that you're with is the most important.
I agree. I agree. So, Lori, thank you so much for being on the show with me tonight. To just kind of take up the half an hour that we were going to spend with others. But again, we made our own show. We had our own party, and those of you who are watching tonight, you're part of our party. Turn it into a success. So make sure you tune in next Monday for Dr. Dream. Kelly Sullivan Walden. And remember, you can call in with your dreams. Rachel Love, our producer, will put you through, and we would love to hear about your dreams. And then also, we have Robin J., who is the producer of The Secrets of the Keys. If you get a chance, Google it. This woman is given dire information by her doctor that she's going to die. She has a dream. And in the dream, her spirit guides come in and guide her through it. What does that sound like? Sounds like my book, right? Well, this really happened. So it's just amazing how that thought form, people start connecting to each other through the thought form. So whatever you do, make sure you come back and see me next Monday night. I'm going to be waiting for you. And again, Lori, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you, Rachel. And now we finally got Felix quiet.
Thanks for having me.
You've been watching the Cat Kanaovs show here on New Earth International.